Welcome to a journey into the origins of thought, where we will explore the minds that shape the very foundations of our understanding. Hello, my name is Mike, and I am the host of Mind Escape Podcast. I am happy to share my new series called Masters of Rhetoric. The goal is to draw from the earliest philosophers, scientists, and critical thinkers to help navigate the current technological paradigm. In a world where divisive and heuristic rhetoric often dominate online spaces, I believe it's crucial to return to the roots of dialectic. This approach can offer the thoughtful discourse that humanity desperately needs today. So join us on this philosophical adventure by subscribing to our channel and podcast. Engage with us through your comments and critiques. We're excited to hear your thoughts. Let's embark on this journey together with Masters of Rhetoric. Enjoy the series. Everything that becomes or is created must of necessity be created by some cause, for without a cause nothing can be created. Plato, Timaeus. Masters of Rhetoric, episode number 6, The Ancient Origins of Teleology, Plato, Aristotle, and the proto-teleologists. Heraclitus. Heraclitus lived roughly between 535 and 475 BC. He was a pre-Socratic Greek philosopher. He was from Ephesus, which was located on the Ionian coast. He focused on metaphysics, teleology, epistemology, ethics, politics, and cosmology. He is considered to be one of the two founders of ontology. He was a material monist that believed that fire was the arche, and believed the essence of the universe is ever-present change. He is most famous for his quote, "No man ever steps in the same river twice." Now, some of you that have been following Masters of Rhetoric from the beginning, these might be repeats or me repeating facts or origins of some of these philosophers, but I'm doing that to familiarize the listeners even more, and repetition is a good way to learn something. And also, somebody might be new to the podcast and be seeking this kind of information out, so that's why I'm repeating it. You can fast forward ahead if you are already very well aware of all this stuff. Heraclitus. The role of logos as an implicit teleological principle. Key concept, logos. Heraclitus' logos represented an ordering principle of the cosmos. It is an intelligible but hidden structure that governs all things, ensuring that reality is not chaotic but follows a rational pattern. While Heraclitus never claimed that logos imposes a specific purpose in the Aristotelian sense, it does suggest an inherent rationality in the cosmos, making it functionally teleological. Teleological implication. The universe follows an inherent rational order, logos, which suggests that things do not happen randomly, but according to some deeper principle. While this is not a personal or goal-driven purpose, like a divine craftsman, it does indicate that existence has a structured way of unfolding. Number 2, flux and becoming, a process-oriented teleology. Key concept, panta rhei, everything flows. Heraclitus is famous for his doctrine that everything is in constant change, or flux. No man ever steps in the same river twice, because both the man and the river are always changing. Change is not random. It is lawful and governed by the logos. Teleological implication. If all things change according to a rational order, then change itself has become a form of directionality and not necessarily an ultimate goal, but a structured unfolding. This contrasts with Aristotle's teleology, which sees purpose in terms of fixed ends, but it aligns with process-based teleology, like some modern process philosophies. Number 3, strife, opposites, and cosmic justice as a teleological mechanism. Key concept, war is the father of all things. Heraclitus argued that reality consists of opposing forces, hot, cold, day, night, life, death. These opposites are not chaotic, but are part of a necessary balance. What is in opposition is in harmony, suggesting that even conflict serves a greater order. Related concept, decay or cosmic justice. Justice or decay ensures that opposites interact in a structured way, maintaining balance. It is not a personal divine intervention, but a law-like necessity within reality. Teleological implication. If all things move through opposition, yet maintain balance, then struggle and conflict are not meaningless, but part of a greater structure. This suggests a self-regulating cosmic process, which, while not intentional like Plato's demiurge, functions teleologically by maintaining order through strife. Number 4, fire as a symbol of transformation and purpose. Key concept, fire as the arche, or first principle. Heraclitus saw fire as a fundamental element of reality. Fire represents transformation. It consumes and creates, driving the process of flux. Teleological implication. Fire does not randomly destroy, but transform things according to an inherent law, or logos. This reinforces the idea that change is not chaotic, but serves a function in maintaining cosmic balance. For the next 5 episodes, I will have these tables that will show each philosopher or their position on certain things, whether it be teleology, ontology, epistemology, and how they compare to other philosophers, specifically Plato, Aristotle, and Socrates. Number 5, implications of Heraclitean teleology compared to later philosophers. This is a table, and at the top, if you're listening, I highly recommend checking out the YouTube channel or on Spotify. Both have videos. But at the top, I have feature, and then I have Heraclitus, Plato, and Aristotle. Under Heraclitus, his source of order was logos, impersonal rational principle. Under nature of change, constant flux directed by balance of opposition. Under teleology, I have implied, which was order through opposition. Role of conflict, I have essential to the functioning of reality. Process-based, change follows a law-like structure. Under Plato, for source of order, I have the demiurge, a divine craftsman. Under nature of change, I have the world moves towards the good. Under teleology, it's explicit. Purpose through forms. Role of conflict, I have seen as disharmony to be overcome. And type of purpose. Under Plato, I have ultimate ideal and moving towards the form of the good. Under Aristotle, for source of order, I have teleological nature, intrinsic final causes. Under nature of change, I have all things seek their telos, or final purpose. Teleology, I have systematic. All things have a defined purpose. Under role of conflict, I have plays a role, but is not the ultimate cause. And under type of purpose, I have intrinsic function, ergon leads to telos. Number 6. Was Heraclitus a teleologist? Yes, but not in the classical sense. He did not believe in final causes like Aristotle, nor does he propose a divine craftsman like Plato's demiurge. However, his logos, structured flux, and cosmic balance suggest a universe that follows a rational, self-organizing principle which is functionally teleological. His philosophy aligns with a process-oriented teleology, where purpose is found in the unfolding of reality rather than fixed end goals. This makes Heraclitus a precursor to later teleological systems while remaining distinct from them. His views resonate with modern-day complexity theory, self-organizing systems, and even aspects of dialectical philosophy. Anaximander. Anaximander lived roughly between 610 and 546 BC. He was a pre-Socratic Greek philosopher. He lived in the Ionian city of Miletus. If you have not already, go check out episode number 1 where I discuss the pre-Socratics, where they came from, and the origins of Ionian physicists and natural philosophy. I highly recommend it. That's episode number 1. He was part of the Milesian school and studied under his teacher and master, Thales. He taught Anaximenes and possibly Pythagoras. He was a material monist that believed the apeiron, which means limitless or infinite in cosmological terms, was the source of all things. He also used arche, first, in philosophical terms, which means origin or beginning. He was first to theorize the earth floats still in the infinite and not supported by anything. He was referenced by some as the father of cosmology. He was the first to speculate the plurality of worlds. He attributed thunder and lightning to natural processes as opposed to divine causes. His cosmology is often seen as a proto-teleological view in that it suggests a natural order and purpose, but without the direct imposition of a conscious goal-oriented force. Number 1, the apeiron, the boundless or infinite, as a teleological principle. Key concept, apeiron. Anaximander introduced the concept of the apeiron as the origin of all things. The apeiron is an undefined, infinite, and eternal source from which all things emerge, to which they return. The apeiron is beyond all qualities and is not a specific element like water, as in Thales' monistic views, or air, as in Anaximenes' monistic views, but an indeterminate substance that is the source of everything. Teleological implication. The apeiron is a self-regulating principle that drives the processes of creation and destruction, suggesting an ordered cosmos governed by a rational, cyclical process. This implies that the universe is not random, but follows an inherent structure that balances forces and maintains equilibrium, which is an early form of teleological thinking. While Anaximander does not explicitly suggest that the apeiron has a goal or purpose, its role in maintaining balance hints at an intrinsic order and purposeful regulation within nature. Number 2, the balance of opposites in cosmic justice. Key concept, cosmic justice, or decay. Anaximander believed that the universe operates through a law of compensation between opposites. For instance, hot and cold, wet and dry, life and death. Teleological implication. The idea of balance and compensation suggests the opposites are not chaotic but are part of a larger cosmic order. The balance of opposites is self-regulating, meaning that the universe has an inherent purpose to restore equilibrium. This process could be seen as teleological because the universe is working towards maintaining harmony and balance in a natural, cyclical way. This early notion of cosmic justice suggests that there is purposeful order underlying the functioning of the cosmos. Number 3, the emergence of life and development of organisms. Key concept, origin of life. Anaximander also speculated about the origin of life, suggesting that life arose from moist environments that evolved into more complex forms. He thought that humans originally emerged from fish-like creatures, indicating a gradual process of development. Teleological implication. Although Anaximander does not directly attribute a final cause or specific goal-oriented process to the development of life, his account of evolutionary emergence implies that life has a directional aspect. The process of becoming more complex could be seen as purposeful development, with organisms adapting to the environment in a way that serves their survival. This evolutionary view, where organisms as a part of a larger natural order governed by balance and justice, resonates with later teleological accounts of the evolution of life in nature, especially those involving natural selection. Number 4, The role of the cosmos in the preservation of life. Key concept: cosmic cycles and the preservation of life. Anaximander emphasized that the cosmos operates in cycles, with things emerging and returning to the apeiron in a repeating process. The balance of forces in nature ensures the continuation of life. He explains that life continually regenerates itself by returning to the apeiron, which serves a source of renewal. Teleological implication. The idea of renewal and cyclical processes suggests that the cosmos operate with a directionality and kind of purposeful movement towards balance and equilibrium. This cyclical process ensures the persistence of life, implying that the universe is organized in such a way that life is continuously preserved and renewed, which can be seen as a form of teleological maintenance. Number 5. Cosmos and natural law. Key concept: natural law and the self-regulating cosmos. The entire universe is governed by the laws of nature and arise from the apeiron, and these laws keep the cosmos in motion, ensuring that everything has its place and purpose. Anaximander's view of the cosmos suggests that everything has an inherent role and that the forces of nature naturally balance out in an orderly, law-like manner. Teleological implication. The self-regulation of the cosmos suggests that nature is not random, but rather organized by laws that ensure balance and stability. This implies that there is a purposeful order to the universe. Though it is not directed by a conscious being, rather it is driven by an inherent nature of the apeiron and the principle of cosmic justice. Number 6. Anaximander's teleology compared to later philosophers. Again, I have a table that I created here. If you're listening, you can go check out our YouTube channel or our Spotify. Both have videos. Across the top, from left to right, I have feature, Anaximander, Plato, and Aristotle. Going down along the left side column, I have source of order, nature of change, cosmic justice, purpose of life, and teleology. For Anaximander, under source of order, I have apeiron, the infinite indeterminate. Under nature of change, I have cyclical, governed by balance and justice. Under cosmic justice, I have law of compensation between opposites. Under purpose of life, I have life arises from the apeiron and develops according to natural law. And under teleology, I have implicit, self-regulation, balance, and renewal. For Plato and Aristotle, these will remain the same. So unless something changes, you can go back and look at the first table that I did for Heraclitus. Those will be the same. Number 7, conclusion. Was Anaximander a teleologist? Yes, in a broad implicit sense. While Anaximander does not formulate a system of final causes like Aristotle, his concept of the apeiron, balance of opposites, and cosmic cycles suggest that the universe is governed by rational laws that ensure purposeful order. His cosmic justice concept and the emergence of life point towards a self-regulating natural system where everything is part of a greater order that serves the balance and renewal of life. Anaximander's view can be seen as a precursor to later teleological theories, especially those that emphasize cosmic law and balance rather than goal-oriented purpose imposed by an external force. Empedocles. Empedocles lived roughly between 494 and 434 BC. He was a pre-Socratic philosopher who introduced a pluralistic cosmology that combined elements of materialism and teleology. While he did not formulate a teleology in the Aristotelian sense, where everything strives towards a final cause, his concepts of love and strife as cosmic forces suggest a directional, structured process governing nature and life. Number 1, the 4 roots as the basis of natural order. Key concept: 4 roots or elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Empedocles rejected the idea that a single element, as proposed by Thales, Anaximenes, and Heraclitus, was the fundamental substance of reality. Instead, he proposed that everything is made of four eternal elements or roots: earth, solidity and structure; air, lightness, breath, movement; fire, energy and transformation; water, fluidity and adaptability. These elements combine and separate to create all the things in the cosmos. Teleological implication. The elements themselves do not have intrinsic purposes, but their interactions suggest an orderly system that follows natural laws. The mixing and separation of elements is not random. It is governed by two opposing forces, love, or philia, and strife, nikos, which direct the process of change in the universe. Number 2, love and strife, the dynamic forces of change. Key concept: love, or philia, and strife, nikos, as cosmic teleological agents. Love, or philia, is the force that unites and brings elements together into harmonious combinations. Strife, or nikos, is the force that separates and causes dissolution and fragmentation. The universe operates through an eternal cycle of love and strife, oscillating between unity, or love, and division, strife. Teleological implication. The presence of directional forces in the cosmos, love seeks unity, strife seeks separation, suggests a purposeful structure to natural change. Even though strife is destructive, it is not purely chaotic. It is a necessary part of cyclical cosmic process, ensuring renewal. This is a proto-teleological view. The cosmos is not random, but follows a patterned, law-like cycle that maintains balance. Number 3, the evolution of life and biological teleology. Key concept: evolutionary theory of organisms. Empedocles proposed an early evolutionary theory describing how living beings arose from random combinations of body parts in the early stages of life. He believed that at first, random creatures were formed, some with human heads and animal bodies, others with multiple limbs, etc. Only the well-formed, functionally advantageous creatures survived, while the poorly adapted ones perished. Teleological implication. This anticipates Darwinian natural selection, as it suggests that only the fittest organisms persist, while others die off. However, unlike Aristotle, who sees purpose as intrinsic to each organism, Empedocles does not claim that life consciously aims towards a goal. Rather, love and strife direct the process, determining which combinations survive. A proto-evolutionary teleology and natural laws shape life towards functional existence. Number 4, the eternal cosmic cycle, a process-oriented teleology. Key concept: the cyclical universe. The universe undergoes repeated cycles in which love gradually brings everything into perfect unity, followed by strife, dissolving it into fragmentation. There is no ultimate final goal. Instead, the process is what maintains cosmic order. These cycles are predictable and law-governed, implying an underlying teleological framework even without a final cause. Teleological implication. The universe is self-organizing and follows a structured rhythm, which gives it a directional pattern even without an ultimate purpose. This suggests a process-based teleology rather than the things aiming at a final goal. They participate in an ongoing cosmic rhythm governed by love and strife. It anticipates process philosophy, where process emerges through natural change, rather than being imposed from outside. Number 5, Empedocles' cosmic justice and moral implications. Key concept: purification and the role of the soul. Empedocles integrated moral and spiritual teleology into his philosophy. He believed that souls are trapped in a cycle of reincarnation due to past wrongdoings. The goal of the soul is to purify itself through successive reincarnations, ultimately returning to divine unity. Teleological implication. While physical nature follows cycles of love and strife, souls have an ethical telos to purify and reunite with the divine. This is a personal teleology, where the human soul has a defined purpose that aligns with cosmic harmony. Moral purification serves as a final purpose, making this aspect of Empedocles' thought strongly teleological, like later Platonic ideas of the soul striving towards the good. Number 6. Empedocles' teleology compared to later philosophers. Across the top, I have feature, Empedocles, Plato, and Aristotle, and on the left hand, in descending order, I have source of order, nature of change, purpose of life, teleology, role of conflict, and ethical dimension. For Empedocles, under source of order, I have love and strife, cosmic forces. Under nature of change, I have cyclical and law-like. Purpose of life, I have functionality emerges through natural selection. Under teleology, I have implicit, process-based, cyclical, and self-regulating. Under role of conflict, I have essential to the cosmic cycle. And under ethical dimension, I have the soul purifies itself through reincarnation. Number 7, conclusion. Was Empedocles a teleologist? Yes, but in a unique way. His love and strife are directional forces that shaped reality in a structured, cyclical manner, which suggests an underlying order to the cosmos. His evolutionary theory implies that organisms develop based on natural processes, which anticipates teleological aspects of Darwinian evolution. His moral and spiritual teleology is explicit. He believed the soul has a defined purpose to achieve purification and return to divine unity. Unlike Plato and Aristotle, Empedocles' teleology was process-based. Instead of seeking a single telos, the universe is engaged in an ongoing rhythmic balance. This makes Empedocles a bridge between mechanistic and teleological thought, influencing later Platonism and Aristotelianism, and even evolutionary theory. Anaxagoras. Anaxagoras lived roughly between 500 and 428 BC. He is a pivotal figure in pre-Socratic philosophy because he introduces the concept of nous, or mind, as the ordering principle of the cosmos. Number 1. The infinite seeds and material explanation. Key concept: the infinite seeds. Anaxagoras rejected the idea that the cosmos is made of a single substance, as Thales, Anaximenes, and Heraclitus suggested. Instead, he proposed that everything consists of an infinite number of tiny, indivisible particles called seeds. Each seed contains a portion of every possible type of matter, meaning that all things contain all substances in different proportions. Example: a human being contains elements of bone, flesh, and hair, but these elements exist in all things in different proportions. Teleological implication. Anaxagoras' seed theory is mechanistic rather than explicitly teleological. It explains how things form rather than why they form in a purposeful way. However, the next major concept, nous, or mind, adds an explicit teleological element to his material process. Number 2, nous, or mind, as the ordering principle. Key concept, nous, the cosmic intelligence. Anaxagoras argued that while seeds form the material world, they do not organize themselves randomly. Instead, nous, or mind, is responsible for initiating motion and arranging all things. Nous is infinite. It is not bound by space or time. Autonomous. It is separate from the material world. Rational and intelligent. It imposes order onto chaos. Initiator of motion. It sets everything into motion, leading to the separation and organization of the cosmos. Teleological implication. This is the most teleological aspect of Anaxagoras' philosophy. It suggests that the universe is not random, but directed by an intelligent principle. However, Anaxagoras does not go as far as Plato's demiurge or Aristotle's final causes. Nous sets things in motion but does not continuously intervene, meaning that it is a first cause, not an ongoing teleological guide. Number 3, the rotation of cosmos and order in nature. Key concept, vortex motion as a structured process. Nous initiates a rotational motion, or vortex, that causes the seeds to separate and organize into the cosmos. This results in the formation of distinct elements, planets, stars, and living beings. Teleological implication. The rotation initiated by Nous suggests a structured development, meaning that the cosmos unfolds accordingly to a rational process rather than chaotic accident. However, once this process begins, it follows mechanistic principles, meaning Nous does not continuously intervene in nature. This is a teleological but non-theistic model. Nous is intelligent but not a personal deity directing events with a moral or ultimate goal. Number 4, the origins of life and the mind's role in evolution. Key concept, life emerges through natural organization. Anaxagoras was one of the first thinkers to suggest that life originated naturally from the environment. He believed that life began in moist environments and evolved over time. The human mind is distinct because it participates in Nous, meaning that human intelligence is a reflection of the cosmic order. Teleological implication. This is a proto-evolutionary idea that life emerges from natural processes, but its complexity suggests an ordered pattern. The fact that human intelligence mirrors Nous suggests that the development of reason is a teleological unfolding of cosmic intelligence. However, unlike Plato, Anaxagoras does not claim that humans are moving towards a form of the good. Rather, intelligence emerges as a part of a natural process initiated by Nous. Number 5, the role of Nous in human purpose and knowledge. Key concept, Nous and human understanding. Anaxagoras believed that the human mind is superior to that of animals because it participates in the greater Nous. He argues that rational thought aligns humans with the cosmic intelligence that governs the universe. Teleological implication. This suggests that human purpose is linked to intellectual development. The more we understand the natural order, the closer we are to Nous. Unlike Plato, who argues that we must contemplate the forms, Anaxagoras suggests that scientific observation and reason bring us in tune with the cosmic order. This is a form of epistemological teleology. The purpose of human reason is to comprehend the rational structure of the cosmos. Number 6, Anaxagoras' teleology compared to later philosophers. Here's a table that compares the teleology of Anaxagoras to Plato and Aristotle. Across the top from left to right, I have feature Anaxagoras, Plato, and Aristotle. On the left-hand side, descending down, I have source of order, nature of change, purpose of life, teleology, role of mind, and role of conflict. For Anaxagoras, under source of order, I have Nous, or mind, initiates motion. Under nature of change, I have vortex motion separates elements. Under purpose of life, I have emerges from natural organization. Under teleology, I have implicit. Nous directs initial order. Under role of mind, I have Nous orders cosmos and is reflected in human reason. And under role of conflict, I have separation is necessary for order. Number 7, conclusion. Was Anaxagoras a teleologist? Yes, but in a limited way. Anaxagoras introduced Nous as an intelligent ordering principle, which strongly suggests a teleological framework. The universe is structured rationally, not randomly. However, nous only initiates the cosmic process. It does not continuously direct events towards a final goal like Plato's forms or Aristotle's teleology. His view of life and intelligence suggests a directional process where human reason develops as an extension of nous, implying an epistemological and cognitive teleology. Unlike later philosophers, Anaxagoras does not assign moral or spiritual purpose to nous. It is purely a rational force governing mechanistic natural processes. Final thoughts. The legacy of Anaxagoras' teleology. His nous influenced Plato and Aristotle, though they expanded its role into more explicit teleology. His scientific approach anticipates later ideas in evolutionary theory and rational cosmology. His view that mind structures reality remains influential in philosophy of science and consciousness studies today. Socrates and Plato. Socrates, who lived between 469 and 399 BC, was the philosophical turning point in ancient Greece, shifting the focus from natural philosophy, the pre-socratics, to ethics, knowledge, and metaphysics. His ideas, recorded by his student Plato, who lived between 427 and 347 BC, transformed into Platonism, which later shaped Western thought, Neoplatonism, and Christianity. Number 1. Socrates' philosophy. Key concepts. The Socratic method is a dialectical process of questioning to reach truth. Virtue as knowledge. The belief that knowing the good leads to doing good. Virtue as knowledge. The belief that knowing the good leads to doing the good. Eudaimonia, or flourishing. As the highest good, happiness is achieved through wisdom and virtue. The unexamined life. Self-inquiry is the path to truth and a meaningful life. Rejection of relativism. Truth is objective, not based on mere opinion. Socrates' causal influence on Plato. Socratic ethics led to Plato's theory of the good. Socrates' belief in moral absolutes evolved into Plato's form of the good. The Socratic method influenced Plato's dialogues, which led to Plato preserving and expanding Socratic questioning into his dialectical philosophy. Virtue as knowledge led to Plato's theory of forms. Socrates argued that virtue was universal, leading Plato to believe that all knowledge derives from universal immaterial forms. Socrates' rejection of relativism led to Plato's rationalism. Socrates' challenge to the sophists helped Plato develop a structured metaphysical and epistemological system. Number 2. Plato's philosophy. Key concept. Theory of forms. The belief that non-material forms or ideas represent the highest, most fundamental reality. The form of the good, the ultimate reality giving meaning to all existence. The tripartite soul, the rational, spirited, and appetitive parts of the soul. The allegory of the cave. The world we experience is a shadow of the true higher reality. The philosopher king, the ideal ruler guided by wisdom and truth. Causal influence on later thought. Theory of forms. Neoplatonism and early Christianity, the idea of a higher realm. Theory of forms led to Neoplatonism and early Christianity. The idea of a higher realm of perfect reality influenced Plotinus's one and the Christian concept of heaven and the God. The form of the good influenced Christian teleology and became the foundation for Christian ideas of God as the ultimate being. The tripartite soul influenced Christian and medieval psychology and influenced Christian ideas of body-soul relations and moral psychology. The philosopher king influenced political philosophy. It influenced Augustine's City of God and later utopian thinkers. Socrates and Plato. Number 3. The evolution from Socrates to Platonism on later thought. Step 1. Socratic ethics to Plato's theory of the good. Socrates believed virtue is knowledge. Once we know what is good, we will act accordingly. Plato, the good is the ultimate reality. True knowledge is about recognizing good beyond physical experience. Step 2. Socratic inquiry to Plato's rational metaphysics. Socrates thought the dialectical method is the key to discovering the truth. Plato believed that truth exists in the eternal, unchanging world of forms. Step 3. Socratic politics to Plato's philosopher king. Socrates believed ethical knowledge should guide life, but he left no systematic political theory. Plato believed only those who grasped the forms should rule, leading to his vision of an ideal, just state. Step number 4. Plato's ideas lead to Neoplatonism and Christianity. Plato's metaphysics influenced later religious mysticism. Plato's ethics shaped early Christian thought. Plato's idea of an ultimate God becomes God in Christian theology. Number 4, timeline of the evolution from Socrates to Plato on later thought. This is another table. At the top, from left to right, I have time period, philosophical development, and impact on later thought. And on the left-hand side, descending down, I have 469 to 399 BC, 427 to 347 BC, 1st century BC to 3rd century CE, 3rd century CE, and 4th to 5th century CE. For the time period of 469 to 399 BC, under philosophical development, I have Socrates teaches virtue, knowledge, and ethics through dialogue. To the right, in the next column, under impact on later thought, I have lays the foundation for Plato's metaphysics and epistemology. Going down, I have 427 to 347 BC. Under philosophical development, I have Plato systemizes Socratic philosophy, introduces the theory of forms, and then under impact on later thought, I have shapes rationalist traditions, Neoplatonism, and Christian theology. Going down, under 1st century BC to 3rd century BC, under philosophical development, I have Middle Platonism blends Plato's metaphysics with theology. And then to the right, under impact on later thought, I have bridges Plato's thought with Neoplatonism and Christianity. Going down, under 3rd century CE, under philosophical development, I have Plotinus develops Plato's concept of the good into the ineffable one. And then to the right, under impact on later thought, I have Christian thinkers like Augustine and Pseudo-Dionysius adapt Neoplatonism in Christian doctrine. Going down under the 4th and 5th century CE, under philosophical development, I have Augustine synthesizes Platonism with Christianity, arguing that God is the form of the good. To the right, under impact on later thought, I have Christian theology adopts a Platonic metaphysical framework. Number 5, how Socratic and Platonic thought led to early Christianity. I have 2 columns here. On the left, I have Socratic/Platonic idea, and on the right, I have Christian adaptation. So for the first one, I have, under Socratic and Platonic idea, I have the form of the good, the highest reality, the ultimate source of truth. And then to the right, under its Christian adaptation, I have God as the ultimate being in Christian theology. On the left, under Socratic and Platonic idea, I have the soul's journey to the forms. The soul must transcend the material world to gain true knowledge. To the right, under Christian adaptation, I have the Christian idea of salvation and heaven as the ultimate truth beyond this world. On the left, I have the allegory of the cave. The material world is a shadow of a higher reality. Then to the right, under Christian adaptation, I have Christian eschatology. The world is temporary. The divine is the true reality. Next, to the left, I have moral and political philosophy. The ideal ruler is one who knows the truth. To the right, under its Christian adaptation, I have Augustine's City of God. The divine order is superior to earthly governance. Then finally, under Socratic and Platonic idea, I have the immortality of the soul. The soul exists beyond physical death. To the right, under its Christian adaptation, I have the Christian belief is the eternal soul and resurrection. Number 6, conclusion. The causal link from Socrates to Christianity. Number 1, Socrates laid the foundation. His ethical inquiries led Plato to develop a structured philosophy of reality, truth, and virtue. Number 2, Plato expanded these ideas into a full metaphysical system. His theory of forms and form of the good, and the immortal soul deeply influenced later religious thought. Middle Platonism, 1st century BC to 3rd century CE, acted as the bridge. Philo's concept of the Logos and other Platonic theologians prepared the way for Christian adaptations. Number 4, Neoplatonism transformed Plato's good into the one, Plotinus' 3rd century idea, a mystical, transcendent being that heavily influenced Christian theology and mysticism. Number 5, Augustine synthesized Plato and Christianity. He argued that Christian doctrine is the fulfillment of Platonic philosophy. Thus, Christian theology absorbed and transformed Socratic and Platonic ideas into its core doctrines, especially regarding the nature of God, the soul, and the afterlife. Final thoughts, the lasting impact of Socrates and Plato on Christianity. Christian theology retains the Platonic view of a transcendent good God. The Christian soul's ascent to heaven mirrors Plato's mystical ascent to the forms. The structure of Christian metaphysics, God, heaven, salvation, is heavily Platonic. Ethically, Christian virtue is deeply influenced by Socratic and Platonic moral realism. Socrates' search for the truth, Plato's theory of forms, and their shared belief in the transcendent knowledge that shaped Western philosophy and Christianity in fundamental ways. Aristotle. Aristotle is the philosopher most responsible for formalizing teleology into a systematic framework. His concept of final causes, or telos, provides a structured explanation of why things exist and develop the way they do. Unlike Plato, who saw purpose in abstract forms, Aristotle sees teleology as intrinsic to nature. Things in the world have built-in purpose that drive their development and function. Number 1, the four causes, the foundation of Aristotelian teleology. Key concept, the four causes as a teleological framework. Aristotle argued that to fully understand anything, one must examine four types of causes. Number 1, material cause. What is it made of? The physical substance something is made of. Example, a statue is made of marble. Number 2, efficient cause. What made it? The agent or process that brings something into being. Example, a sculptor chisels a statue from marble. Formal cause. What is its structure or essence? The design, blueprint, or essential characteristics of a thing. Example, the statue has a certain shape, proportion, and artistic style. Number 4, final cause. What is its purpose or goal? The ultimate reason for its existence. What it is for. Example, the statue exists to commemorate a historical figure. Teleological implication. Aristotle emphasized the final cause as the most important. Things exist to develop and fulfill a natural purpose. Unlike Plato, who sees teleology in the forms, Aristotle sees it inherent in nature itself. Number 2, the concept of telos, purpose in nature. Key concept, telos, the final goal or function. Everything in nature has a built-in purpose, or telos. The goal of an acorn is to grow into an oak tree. The goal of a heart is to pump blood. The goal of a human being is to achieve eudaimonia, or flourishing. Teleological implication. This is a biological, functional teleology. Natural things develop toward their proper function, not randomly. This anticipates later ideas in evolutionary biology, though Aristotle wrongly believed that organisms strive towards perfection rather than adapting to their environments. Number 3, the unmoved mover. the ultimate teleological principle. Key concept, the unmoved mover, or prime mover, as a final cause of the universe. Aristotle argued that the cosmos itself must have a final cause. He introduced the unmoved mover, a pure eternal actuality that causes all motion without being moved itself. The unmoved mover does not consciously create the world, but serves as the ultimate final cause, drawing everything towards its perfection. Teleological implication. This is a cosmic teleology. Everything in the universe strives towards the highest actuality, the unmoved mover. Unlike Plato's demiurge, the unmoved mover does not intervene in the world. It is a pure state of being that other things strive to imitate. Number 4, teleology and biology, the purpose of living things. Key concept, nature does nothing in vain. Aristotle's biological studies, especially in parts of animals and generation of animals, reveal his beliefs that nature is purposeful. He argued that the organs of animals exist for specific functions. Unlike modern natural selection, Aristotle sees biology as essential. Things develop toward their predefined nature rather than through random variation. This teleological view influenced biology for centuries until Darwin replaced it with a non-purposeful mechanism, natural selection. Number 5, teleology and ethics, the human good, or eudaimonia. Key concept, eudaimonia, human flourishing as the ultimate telos. Aristotle argued that telos of human life is to achieve eudaimonia, a flourishing or virtuous life. Unlike pleasure, hedonism, or mere survival, eudaimonia is about fulfilling the highest potential as rational beings. The function or ergon of a human is to use reason well, just as the function of a knife is to cut well. Teleological implication. Moral teleology. Humans have a natural purpose, which is to cultivate virtue and live rationally. This deeply influenced Christian enlightenment and modern virtue ethics. Teleology and politics. The polis as a natural end. Key concept, the polis, or city-state, as the natural telos of society. Aristotle argues in Politics that human society is teleological. It develops naturally towards organized communities. The state, or polis, is the highest form of human association because it enables people to achieve eudaimonia. Man is by nature a political animal. Teleological implication. Social structures are not arbitrary. They exist to fulfill the human need for a good life. This is an organic, naturalistic teleology where societies evolve toward greater cooperation and rational governance. Number 7, Aristotle's teleology compared to other philosophers. This is a table comparing Aristotle's teleology to some of the previous philosophers we discussed. Across the top, I have feature Aristotle, Plato, Anaxagoras, and Empedocles, and descending down the left side, I have source of order, nature of change, purpose of life, biological teleology, and role of mind. Under Aristotle, for source of order, we have final causes in nature. Under nature of change, we have development towards inherent purposes. Under purpose of life, we have achieve eudaimonia, or rational flourishing. Under biological teleology, we have organisms developed toward natural functions. And under role of mind, we have rationality fulfills human telos. Number 8, conclusion. Aristotle's lasting impact on teleology. Aristotle is the most systematic teleologist in Western philosophy. He integrated teleology into physics, biology, ethics, and politics. He integrated teleology into physics, biology, ethics, and politics, making purpose the core of natural processes. His scientific teleology influenced medieval scholasticism, Christian theology, and Enlightenment ethics. His ethical teleology, or eudaimonia, remains central to virtue ethics today. However, his biological teleology was superseded by Darwinian evolution, which removed the goal-directed process from biology. Final thoughts. Is Aristotle's teleology still relevant? While modern science rejects inherent purpose in nature, teleology persists in ethics, psychology, and social philosophy. The idea that humans flourish by fulfilling their natural potential remains a powerful framework for ethics and personal development. Questions and conclusions for Masters of Rhetoric, episode number 6. As we have explored, the teleological visions of Socrates and Plato laid the groundwork for how we understand purpose, ethics, and the nature of reality. Socrates, through his relentless questioning, sought to uncover a true purpose of human life, believing that knowledge and virtue were intertwined, and that living a good life meant aligning oneself with the highest understanding of the good. His dialectical method not only challenged conventional wisdom, but also set the stage for Plato's grand metaphysical system. Plato, in return, expanded on these ideas, giving us the theory of forms, where purpose is not just an individual pursuit, but something woven into the very fabric of reality. The form of the good stands as the ultimate telos, the highest reality towards which everything aspires. Through the dialogues, Plato showed that everything in nature and human society is oriented towards an ideal end, whether it is the governance of the state, the cultivation of virtue, or the soul's ascent towards truth. Implications and influence. These ideas have rippled through history, influencing Neoplatonism, early Christianity, and even modern debates on nature of purpose. Aristotle took Plato's teleology and grounded it in biology and natural science, while Christian theologians transformed it into a divine plan guiding all of existence. Even today, we see echoes of these discussions in philosophy, psychology, and science, from discussions on human flourishing or eudaimonia to whether the universe has an inherent purpose. As we close on this episode, I leave you with some questions to reflect on. Number 1. Does the universe inherently have a purpose, or is purpose something we impose on it? Number 2. Is human life directed towards a single ultimate good, as Plato suggested, or is purpose more fluid and subjective? Number 3. If Socrates believed that virtue is knowledge, can ignorance ever be an excuse for moral failure? Number 4. How does Plato's idea of the soul's ascent towards the good compare with modern ideas of self-improvement and enlightenment? Number 5. In what ways do modern science and philosophy challenge or uphold Plato's teleological vision? With these deep thoughts, we wrap up the deep dive into pre-Socratic, Socratic, and Platonic teleology. So keep questioning, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep seeking your own telos. Until next time, this has been Masters of Rhetoric. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep trying to master rhetoric.